this is Rob Powell, and today in Tacx Turbo Talks we're talking to Jay McCarthy from BORA-hansgrohe about the Giro d'Italia. It's Monday the 27th of May, it's the second rest day of this year's Giro d'Italia, and probably a much needed rest day for a lot of riders, and maybe one of them is Jay McCarthy from BORA-hansgrohe, who is on the line from Italy right now. Jay, thanks for coming on. How are you feeling?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Obviously 2 weeks into the race, and the legs are a bit tired, and we're counting the days down, and we've got some pretty hard stages to come.
Is it really a matter of counting the days down until you're in Verona, or is there still a lot of appetite to go into those final stages?
Yeah, I think our team's in a really good position. We obviously started super strong, and pretty much the whole time through the race, I think we've definitely been strong.
Because you guys definitely had a stellar Giro so far with those 3 stage wins already, 2 from Pascal, and obviously Benedetti won 1 stage.
Yeah, so I think coming up we have Rafa Majka, who's sitting in 4th overall, and obviously some super hard stages. So I think things can get turned upside down, I think. But Rafa seems like he's in good morale, and the boys are super motivated to support him and hopefully move him up onto the podium.
And the weather is not getting the mood down for you guys, because apparently it's a bit of a rainy day today again, and maybe tomorrow is going to be a rainy day as well, a long rainy day then.
Yeah, I think we were worried this could happen, but we're trying not to think about it too much. We actually were on the Tacx this morning doing our ride because we didn't want to do 2 days in the rain, so went on there and did some. Obviously, it's a rest day, but we have to keep the bodies going, and to get on the ergo was good to sort of have a little bit of a sweat and keep the heart ticking and the legs moving, ready for tomorrow's stage in the wet, like you said.
So what did today look like for you? You said like you had a bit of a ride on the roller. Can you talk us through today for the rest day? What time did you get up, and what the other activities were, other than just relaxing, probably?
Yeah, we had a little bit more of a lay-in. My roommate, Rudy Selig, who's one of our lead-up men for Pascal, he's rooming with me here in this race, so we sort of set the alarm a little bit later. We were originally going to go out on the road at 11, so I think we sort of rose out of bed around 9:45 and head down and had a sort of relaxing breakfast, a couple of coffees, and then we all decided that we'd jump on the rollers. And yeah, it was a short session, about 45 minutes to an hour, and then lunch, and then a few different pieces this afternoon with massage and maybe a checkup from the osteo. And it's pretty easy going, and we try not to think about too much into tomorrow yet until keep our heads calm a little. Otherwise, if we have a look at the profile again and again, I think it becomes even more scary.
Do you have something to keep you occupied during a rest day or to relax? Do you watch Netflix? Do you read some books? Or
I haven't really had time to do that yet, but I generally don't mind flicking through Netflix or reading something. I haven't got a book going at the moment, but I actually am a big Game of Thrones fan, and last week was a good rest day because it was the final episode, and but this week I didn't have anything to look forward to, so I think I'll find something to do after this.
So you might need a new series after Game of Thrones, so maybe the listeners should send you some suggestions via Twitter or Instagram.
Yeah, I think that would be great.
And how is Rudy as a roommate for 3 weeks?
Yeah, it's good. We've been teammates now for 3 years, and we always have a bit of a laugh. You have good days and you have bad days in a Grand Tour, and Rudy's doing really well. Obviously, he's not a pure climber, that's for sure. He's a sprinter and a very good lead-out man. And the last few days, he's had a couple of hard days, but he's done well, and supporting Pascal out there on the road. And I think the boys are in good spirits to get through to the end.
And definitely at least get through to what is it, Friday I think it is, for the Thursday, Thursday to the final sprint opportunity. How is Pascal going? Is he freshened up again after that crash, or is he starting to feel a bit better?
Yeah, I think so. It's probably nearly a week now since it's happened, and he he went through a bit of a period where obviously the body gets stiff, and then your body starts to tell you when you're going through a trauma like that it should be stopping. So everything else starts to hurt a bit more too. So I think, but as you can see, he's a pretty excited young guy. It's his first Grand Tour. He's done super well, and I think in our team we've kept the spirits high, and he's pretty pumped to finish the race. And obviously on Thursday we have another chance to hopefully go for another stage victory with him, and I think he's really looking forward to that.
And maybe even get that points jersey back.
Yeah, definitely. We're fighting every day for that, and unfortunately, obviously, with the crash, some of the extra points we could have probably been going full for in the stages, we had to sort of try, but I think it was a little bit, bit too much for him, especially when he's trying to recover. And hopefully by Thursday he can. He feels a lot better, and his body's moving a lot better, that he can definitely focus on the final.
So you guys still got a lot of battles going on, as you mentioned, and with Pascal, but obviously, as you mentioned, Micah sitting fourth on GC, Davide Formulo is still 12th overall as well, might even still be able to get a top 10. What's your role going to be in the next couple of days?
Yeah, I sort of swap between the two groups. Obviously, on the sprint days, I help out in the probably the fourth last guy in the lead out. So maybe between like 5 and 3 kilometers to go, I try and keep the boys in good position. And during the stage, I kind of look after Rafa and make sure that he's sitting pretty in the peloton. And then obviously now that the mount stages are happening, it's sort of picking a spot on the profile that I know that in my own abilities where I can survive and help Rafa into a good position before a decisive climb, or if I can survive the climb, obviously guiding him and making sure that we're in a good position on the downhill. So tomorrow is going to be a pretty solid stage for me and for everybody, of course, but it's nice to know that we have a strong helper with obviously Formula, who can also benefit with a good overall result, but he's definitely knows that he wants to support Rafa as much as he can, and if he has to really sacrifice, he will. So I think we're in a pretty good position, that we have a good team to support Rafa overall in all different situations, and hopefully we can keep doing what we've been doing.
And then tomorrow, obviously, no Gavia because of the snow. Like you said, still going to be a solid day, as you said. I think it's just going to be a brutal day by the looks of that profile. Could it be full on from the get-go tomorrow? So warm-up needed?
Yeah.
Although it's 226K?
Yeah, we'll definitely be jumping on the rollers, on the Neo. So to warm up, because it's pretty much uphill from the start, and there's some downhill sections obviously after the climbs, but as soon as you get to the bottom you're already onto the next climb. So it's going to be a long day, and I think we need to be ready from the start, keep warm, and get ready to jump into it.
How many layers of rain jackets does it usually take for you guys to stay warm in a stage like tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll probably have like a thermal layer underneath my normal jersey. Then I'll wear like a Flandern from our sponsor Sportful, and then another sort of more of a rain jacket over the top of that. And then obviously it's always better to have a bit more on, and then you can strip off as you go if you have to. But it's not as much as you think, but I think the equipment that we have and the clothing that we have, we're pretty lucky. So it's never too much of an issue. It's just to make sure that you put enough on before you start.
Yeah, obviously, we talked about tomorrow's stage, but then Wednesday, another mountaintop finish. Thursday, that sprint. Friday, another mountaintop finish. And then Saturday, another brutal day before that time trial in Verona on Sunday. when is this Giro a success? Is it already been a success for you guys as a team? I can imagine. But what would be the ideal scenario now?
Yeah, I think it's definitely been a success already, and we can be proud of what we've already achieved. But yeah, we don't want to. We still got a week to go, and the morale's high. So I think we would like to just try and keep doing what we're doing, and obviously keep a really good position, or if not, move Rafa and Formula up on the GC, and then of course that stage on Thursday that will hopefully be controlled for a sprint that we can have one final icing on the cake with Pascal going for victory.
And for you personally?
Yeah, I think I'm getting a lot out of what I'm doing for the team, and definitely I was in a breakaway earlier in the race, and this week, depending on how the race is playing out and what our tactics would be for whatever day it is and what's happened the day before, there'll be a chance, obviously, for me that I might have to go up the road again if it's not for my own chance or for hopefully supporting possibly Rafa or Davide in the final as the peloton sort of catch us. So I think there's probably a couple of days that I'll probably be a bit more excited to try and get into the move and see what we can do there.
And is it sort of like almost like a bit of a story of the season for you, a bit more of a role in working for others, or maybe last year you had a little bit more freedom to go for your own chances in some other races? Maybe also due to the success, obviously, that you guys had with Boegman, with Schachman, basically with the whole team?
Yeah, I think there's definitely been stages that I would have probably eyed off before some of my racing this year, and maybe a few issues for myself with a crash here and there in a race, maybe sort of hampered some of those chances. But yeah, like you said, we've had a really strong team and guys who have had their hands up to do a good job and who have been delivering. And for me, I think I enjoy as much as anyone when my team wins. It's just as much as when I have the chance to go for my own result. But I think I'm still proud of how my year's going, and I think our team in general it's only the first Grand Tour and the success we've already had in the first months of 2019. I think we can all be very happy.
Yeah, and using this as a little segue to talk about your own ambitions, because I've read that when you were 13, you had a series of Post-it notes on your bedroom door with all type of goals that you wanted to achieve. I think the last one, this is the one that you already achieved, was do the Tour de France. Do you have a new series of Post-it notes at the moment, and what will be on them?
Yeah, I think obviously in the next 12 months we're coming into the Olympic year, and for me, I think the Tokyo course can suit my style of rider, and I'd hope to be in the running for selection for the Olympics next year, and I think also for the Worlds this year in Yorkshire, that's a chance if I can gain selection there. I can prove that my selection for next year in Tokyo could be a good option for our team Australia. So I'd like to say I'd be aiming to hopefully go to the Olympics next year.
Yeah, that'd be obviously pretty awesome. We're moving on to the Tacx Turbo Talks fan question of the week. Each week, fans can ask a question via social media, via the Tacx social media channels, so people keep an eye out. This week's question is from George Sofroniou, if I pronounce this correctly. He asked via Twitter, you are Australian. Would you like at some point in your career to ride for a team from your country?
I think it would be any opportunity to be in the World Tour is great, and depending on the circumstances, if I could, then yeah, for sure. I think one day it would be nice to ride for an Australian team, but at the moment I feel very comfortable where I am, and I get my opportunities here and there, and I also enjoy the leaders we have in the team, and I like working for them. So yeah, eventually, if that chance happened or that happened in my career, I wouldn't be turning my head away from the chance to ride with fellow Australians or an Australian sponsored team. So I guess, yeah, it could be.
Because you still have a contract for next year with BORA, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So at least we'll see you another year in that green jersey, and hopefully getting way more success with them. Jay, we're going to let you off so you can maybe have a massage and do some further relaxing. Thanks heaps for taking the time to jump on this the Tacx Turbo Talk podcast.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me, and I look forward to keeping the ball rolling.
Yeah, make sure you do so. And people, if you enjoyed this podcast, make sure, obviously, download, subscribe, rate, review on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get the podcast. Thanks again, Jay. And this was Rob Bauer with Jay McCarthy from BORA-hansgrohe. Stay tuned for new Tacx Turbo Talks next week.